Hello and welcome. Last month, the Bank of Ghana directed that all money transactions in the country should be conducted in the Ghana cedi. It also directed that all banks not to grant a foreign currency denomination loan or foreign currency linked facility to a customer who has not got a foreign exchange, who's not a foreign exchange earner. There have been mixed reactions to this directive. And tonight we want to find out, is it just an ad hoc measure, and what is the sustainable way forward for our ailing economy? Joining me in the studio to dig deep into this issue is Samson Awingobit Asaki, Executive Secretary, Ghana Importers and Exporters Association. I will be joined later on the phone by Herbert Quay, who is the President of Ghana Hotels Association, and Dr. Robert Dakon, Osei Senior Research Fellow for ISA. My name is Nana Sakwa, and this is PM Express. Stabilizing the Ghana cedi against the US dollar. Why shouldn't we do it? Why shouldn't we love our own? But that's what's brought an uproar when the Bank of Ghana brought out these directives. Obviously, people who trade in imports and exports, who have to find this dollar so they can trade abroad, complained a bit. But a few weeks down the line, we want to find out, has it worked? Some say, yeah, the cedi is stabilized a bit, but what's the effect on the people on the ground? With me in the studio is Samson, my own brother Samson. Samson, you're welcome.
Thank you, Nana.
Samson, no.
It has been a long time.
I know,
Good.
I know.
Good.
I always see you on TV, can you imagine?
That's okay. Today you have me in your studio.
Now, you deal with, obviously, Executive Secretary for Importers and Exporters. You should be happy now. I mean, now everybody has to deal in cedi. You don't have to run around chasing for dollar. What's the mood out there?
Well, Nana, before I come to say something concerning your question, let me use this opportunity to say good evening to our viewers out there. Most importantly, the importers and exporters, the gallant importers and exporters of this country, who are contributing significantly to the socio-economic growth of this country. If I'm here for them. And then I smile when they smile. I frown my face when they frown their face. And as of, based on what the question you're putting to me, I think every importer in this country frown their face. The issue is that, yes, as a Ghanaian, we will be very happy to do business in our own currency. But let us not forget that we are doing business with international trade. And therefore, if I'm doing business with you, and you are running business to me in forex, as a foreigner, or for forex, I need to pay you forex. That is the US dollar or whatever, any other currency. You don't render services to me, and I say, oh, because I'm in my country and I'm comfortable, then I'm paying you in Ghana cedis. When the contract that you are conducting to me or executing does not end my cedis. So I have every right or reasons to cause of alarm if the Bank of Ghana comes out with certain directives and not expelling out that or clearly stating that, oh, okay, if I'm doing business with you who's a forest, I should pay you forest because you render service to me and you demand for me to pay you forest. If I'm doing business within the country here, whereby I go to, let's take Golden Tulip, so I go there as a guest to sleep there, and they are in Ghana, then I need to pay them Ghana cedi. But here's the case that the Bank of Ghana has given a limitation as to how much one can draw. The Bank of Ghana is also given a limitation as to how much, why one should hold a dollar account. Before this directive, I quite remember, or you confirmed to me that you used to have a dollar account or a forex account, if that is the point, or foreign exchange currency with you. Good. Now, as we speak now, from that directive to date, no Ghanaian is allowed to hold foreign exchange account or to draw forex if you are not traveling. And we think that is very ridiculous. We believe that, yes, some of the Bank of Ghana, by law, is to control the monetary aspect of this country. There's no two ways about it. Now, the other policies is to be implemented or to be influenced by government. Now, if Bank of Ghana want to come out with certain policies, and because there's international trade, we believe strongly that they have to liaise with the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Trade and Industry. The Ministry of Trade and Industry will say, hey, some of my members, or where I sit, build businesses with the foreigners, with the international trade, and therefore to demand certain amount of money to pay in forestry. Therefore, one should not be limited to withdraw only $10,000 or its equivalent. Two, you cannot say because I am a Ghanaian and I am an importer or an international businessman or businesswoman that I travel all the time to do transactions in Kansas. My money is sitting in my dollar account by compulsory. You have stampeded that I can no longer have access to my dollar account. That is infringement of the Constitution. I don't know whether yes, the same Constitution that given the power to protect our money, to control the spending against our money. It's the same Constitution that gives you the power for your human rights infringement. And that is what they did. That from that day, whether I was consulted, you were consulted, including the President of the Republic of Ghana, if he was owing a dollar account, that from that day, based on their policies, no one else has the right to do what? To hold a dollar account. Now the same people comes out to say, oh, per the constitution or per the laws established Ghana Port and Harbour Authority, if a foreign vessel renders services to them, or if a foreign vessel comes to do business with them, oh, they are allowed to receive dollar account. Did they have that requisite in the constitution to say, okay, from that day give the instructions that they can hold dollar account? The point is, if I'm dealing with Mexline, I'm using Mexline as an example, which is a foreign international company, that they bring the cargo, they carry cargo to this country, that I travel to US or I travel to China to bring a cargo. That is what our members normally do. That I loaded 10 containers to come to Ghana. Then at the time I loaded the 10 containers to come to Ghana, I said, oh, I had money to pay for 5 containers. That used to be the practice. And I go to the shipping line to do a negotiation. Oh, by the time I get to Ghana, I will clear 5 containers sitting at the port. I will clear sell and pay my other 5 containers that you are shipping to me, to the agent there or to your office in Ghana, so that they will transfer the money to you. It used to be one of the best way of doing business in this country. As we speak, from that day, the Bank of Ghana could not come out to explain whether the commercial banks should accept or should refuse. We had a meeting elsewhere, and there was a what do you call it? There was one of the Dr. Amwa, I've forgotten the surname, says, oh no, if you are running service to me, and it is the services that are supposed to pay, let's say a free zone company, we know all the free zone companies deal in forest. I have to pay them forest. Or a shipping line has rendered service to me from China. I say, I'll get to Ghana and pay. And when I get to Ghana, I need dollar to pay. So it does mean that when I comes back from China from my trip, and I want to pay for my freight, I will come back to the bank and tell them that I'm traveling again in order for me to withdraw the forest to pay. Then the Bank of Ghana now is asking Ghana to lie. We have something we call utmost good faith in business. I should be able to go and tell my bank, look, I traveled to China, I've shipped 10 containers earlier. 5 containers I was able to pay because I was having excess money. I paid for that freight. The 5 containers that came in, I didn't have, and now I got to Ghana. This is my documents. I want to pay. The Bank of Ghana is saying that I can take that documents to the bank. So let's take it, for example, if I'm operating with Fidelity Bank or Ghana Commercial Bank, I should be able to take to the Ghana Commercial Bank manager and tell them that I'm supposed to pay this amount of money. How is that money going to be paid into that person's account? Because if the shipping line that I just made mention supposed to hold an account in Ghana here, in one of the commercial banks, that should be their dollar account. So I say, okay, I'm paying Mexline. This is the Mexline agent. This is their account number. It's supposed to be $20,000 paid into their account. As we speak, from that day, the Bank of Ghana is still having problems. And I wish we should call somebody from Bank of Ghana to come and explain to the whole public, the whole Ghanaians, including so that the president is listening or his ministers are watching this important program that we are having today. The point is that the Bank of Ghana is saying that, oh, if I even travel and I come and I'm to pay services, that is in forest, we should have the relevant document, I should go to the bank and pay. The Bank of Ghana has forgotten that Ghanaians or international businessmen used to have what you call forex account and forex dollar check or whatever check. Now, there was a meeting, I think last 2 weeks in Bakatama. This Dr. Amor came. He's one of the biggest the strategy heads at the Bank of Ghana. He said, there was a client says that, we clear cargo, we paid freight here in Ghana, and we wrote the check, and the bank returned the check to us. The reason is what? It's simple. You, Bank of Ghana, you said nobody is not allowed to hold any forex account, neither to have a check. So from that day, you seize everybody. So how do you tell me that? So that means that telling me that I should go to next line, ask the managing director or the financial controller, follow me, let's go to my bank for me to confirm that I can pay this. This is a double job. I should be able to sit in my office comfortably and tell my bank that I owe such an amount of next line. Transfer, okay, I cannot have access to withdraw that money because the limit is 10,000. Mm-hmm. And to pay a freight that costs me 50,000 Ghana cedis. And we have big companies who are importing to this country, they can pay freight more than that. So just transfer it into their account.
And that one too is not allowed?
And that one too, the bankers are frustrated. Call any of the commercial bank MDs or Treasury Department, they will tell you they are frustrated.
Let me get on the phone and speak to Dr. Robert Darko Osei. Doctor, good evening.
Hello.
Hello, Doc. Good evening.
Good evening.
Well, welcome to the show. We're looking at, stabilizing the cedi and some of the measures that Bank of Ghana put in place as to whether it's working or not. We will say we are in Ghana, and so whether we like it or not, that's our cedi. We have to love it and trading it. I have in the studio Samson Asaki, who is the executive secretary for Importers and Exporters Association, and literally they are lamenting that it's not helping them. It's too cumbersome. But you can look at it from the economic side. The long term or short term to medium term, is it a good idea, or did we make the right choices?
Okay, thank you very much. So I think my position on this particular policy directive right from the beginning has been that it wasn't necessarily the optimal policy for dealing with the challenge that we had at the time. Mm-hmm. And I still think I would maintain that position because there isn't anything that I have seen that would convince me that that policy necessarily has been good in either the short term or in the long term. Okay, so I am still of the opinion that this policy hasn't been very helpful. The challenge, I must confess, is that now there is what you call the announcement effect. And so in terms of the medium-term, long-term implications, it's already established. So even if you reverse the policy today, it isn't going to help in terms of what the long-term implications are for the economy and for the importers and exporters.
Doc, let me come in here and say, there were people who were chasing dollars to pay school fees, people who were chasing dollars to pay hotel bills, and they might have contributed a certain percentage of the demand. If you try and stop that, it would reduce the pressure that we were putting or the demand that we were putting on the dollar.
No, absolutely. I mean, I think that there was some element of the demand side of the problem that we needed to deal with, and I think I am in full support of the Bank of Ghana in dealing with that kind of the demand side issue. In particular, the dollarizing of purchases, particularly within the economy.
Yeah.
Okay, so in that sense, I don't think there is any pounds at all that many of us would have with respect to trying to deal with it. The challenge, however, with how we went about tackling the problem has been that we have also affected the supply side of the foreign exchange market. And so if you go to the banks today and you talk to the bank managers today, now, still that directive, ask the banks how many of them have received deposits for dollars. Go ask them. So people are looking for alternatives.
Okay.
So in a sense, you actually driving the forex market out of the formal sector into the informal sector.
Okay.
And that has long-term implications. Okay, that has long-term implications not just for your forex, but generally for savings within the economy. Remember that we do get a significant amount of remittance into the economy.
Yeah.
Part of these remittances are people in the diaspora who are actually saving. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if people in the diaspora have the option of actually putting their money here and taking it out as and when they wish, they have the option. Remember, so it is not as if they are confined to actually keeping their money in this country. They have that option. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, if you make that option unattractive, what it does is that people will move out. I am very positive that people even with accounts in Ghana would have been moving out some of the accounts to other countries. I'm very positive about that. So, you know, the issue is about demand and supply. My point is that today, probably for people who have the dollar account in the country, they are already locked in. Okay? So already you've pre-committed. So they have their money there, and therefore, if there is no option, then they have to actually change it to CD. So you seem to, there would be the impression that there are gains as a result of that. But remember, these same people, some may not actually bring their dollars in.
Doc, let me come to the diaspora side of things. I mean, the law says that if you earn a foreign exchange, then you can keep a foreign exchange account. So if you have a diasporan address, if I may say, maybe you are exempt from this because you can prove that you earn foreign exchange currency, so therefore you can keep a foreign exchange account.
Okay, so I'm not very sure about the exact letter of the law with respect to the diasporans. But remember that there is one thing happening with the law, and then there is another thing with respect to how it actually is operationalized. Okay? So for the person and its perception and people's expectations, so for the people in the diaspora, if, for instance, I have savings here in the country, and if and as and when I need to transfer money to my grandma, I can very easily do that. Okay? Now, if I am restricted with respect to what I can, the currency in which I can actually take that money, then the point is that, okay, so let me not actually bring my money to Ghana at all. Let me keep it in a country where I would have that flexibility. Okay? If I needed to transfer to my cousin in one country or the other, or to a brother in one country or to the other, it is easy for me to do. Okay, so I'm talking about the real aspect of what actually then pertains, particularly with respect to foreign currency.
Doc, let me come in here once again before I bring something, because I know something was objecting to something. With regards to the movement, I mean, if you go to all the UKs and the Americas, they also have that 10,000 limit where they don't allow you to go over, otherwise all hell breaks loose. So whether you keep your money here or not, you will still have the same restrictions, or?
No, absolutely. I mean, I don't think that the issue about the 10,000 has necessarily been a concern, particularly for me.
Okay.
I think my issue has always been that once we had a system in which people had the flexibility to take whatever currency they had actually deposited in anticipation of whatever they were doing, they should still be given the opportunity to do so.
Okay.
So if I keep an account in the UK, I can go to the UK bank and I can actually then buy Forex without much of a hassle. Indeed, you can even take Forex out of some cash points where you are given the option in terms of the currency. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the point I'm making is that changing the incentives for people saving here for me is what I think this policy long-term is the harm that this policy long-term would have done for savings in our economy.
Okay, Doc, let me bring Samson in here. Samson was objecting to the fact that, if you can keep a foreign account, if you earn foreign money, and you were saying no.
No, that is not how the Bank of Ghana says. The Bank of Ghana is saying that I don't owe, I'm not taking salary from Forex. Therefore, I cannot have foreign account.
Yeah.
Even the same person, the Ghanaian who's out there, who send the remittances home, back at home, immediately the money get to his foreign exchange account. You have to change at the prevailing rate. So if the money lands to Bank of Ghana today, if the rate is 2 point something, 2.4 or 2.5, automatically my money changes to Ghana Cedi. Without even consulting me that I ready to change your money at that time, at that moment of time. That's what it says. 2,
even though you earn foreign, because
even though the person earn foreign, he's working out there.
Okay.
Good. But he's bringing his remittance home. So he has foreign exchange account back at home. So immediately it gets home, you change, the money change automatically. Now, what is happening is that I, who is an international businessman or businesswoman who travel to do businesses, you are talking of UK, they can withdraw, the limit is also 10,000. Yes, in other sectors. But the point is transaction. My money is sitting in my commercial bank account, or our members have their money sitting in their commercial bank account, even Ghana Cedis. Let's take that they are supposed to transfer 50,000 or 70,000 or $100,000 because they have a supplier. Some of them has, this multinational company you have them, has, including Ghanaian individual who import, has a supplier who will supply to that tune. The issue of transfer, the SWIFT, it's not working here. It's true. If you want to open your lines, the people will call and tell you. We are talking about efficiency and effectiveness here. That if you ask me to keep my money or I should bring the relevant document and that my supplier has sent me all the relevant documents, I need 100,000 to go to my supplier, it should be done today or tomorrow. And that is, if you give me 2 days, I should have that money landed. My supplier should be able to call me and confirm that, yes, you have received your money, so your goods is ready. Come and load. We are talking of, and then you know the whys, they are very smart. If I tell them that my bank is transferring the money to your account, they expect to see that the money is landed in the account before I can load. So if the money doesn't, meaning utmost good faith is no more holding the air. The truth is no more speaking. And already the perception is that Africans, you understand.
And so the banks saying that they will transfer the money now has become a big issue.
It has become a big issue. And Bank of Ghana is aware of this. We were at the forum, we told them about this. Importers told them about this. That is the issue. You see, bringing money, it is the same thing. When the Ghanaian exporter export and is bringing down his money, it comes quickly. It hit Bank of Ghana account straight away, or it hit commercial bank account straight away. Why is it when we are transferring here, it's a problem, and that is the problem. The Ghanaians, if the importers in this country knows that, oh, I have my relevant document. It is, and though it is not all our members who buy from one supplier. Most of the, and then the 20-50 containers, one-time importers, 40-50 containers, they are the people who make the volume. It is not multinational company like Asante Gold, Wash Gold Mines, what do you call it? The big companies as you can tell, or Unilever and other things. The individual who bring 40-50, go to all the people and they'll tell you, it's the individual who make the volumes. Those people doesn't buy from one particular, it buys shop. One shop after another shop. They do what we call window shopping. Okay. So at the end of the day, we think that they should be able to transfer the money when they come back to the country. That's what the Bank of Ghana is now saying you. Oh, you cannot transfer. I think they give you days. They say about 90 days or what. And when you return, you should be able to come and submit your documentation.
I'll come back to that, but when I come back, I want to put the questions to both of you to find out that, listen, it shouldn't be a cutoff point where we start, say, look, this is it, let's start from here. Stay tuned, I'm coming straight back. Hello, welcome, and these are some of your comments on Facebook. Desmond Dugan is saying, I don't think this directive will yield any better results. J. Maxwell says, we are still talking dollars. Look at the Black Stars. Romeo Tometi says, it's good news. These measures ought to have been taken long ago, but it's better late than never. Ibrahim Sani says, even if it will not yield any results, I think we should respect our city. Ray Fedil says, what about government officials with accounts in Switzerland and UK and the rest? Well, that's in Switzerland. Anim Philip, better move by Bank of Ghana because we are in Ghana and we must build our economy and not that of others. Amadou Abdullah says, excellent move. Abusa Jackson says, maybe let's try this one too and see. So, just like before I went to the break, I was asking that, being that we're in Ghana and we have the city, should there be a cutoff point to say, well, it's going to be hard, let's bite the bullet now, in 6 months' time, maybe things will even out. Let me start with you, Samson.
My brother, what we are saying here is that I am a Ghanaian. Look, most of the times you see me wearing smokes day in, day out. Times my wife is complaining. I say, well, I must identify it. I must buy smoke so that those who are waving back at my region also get money. That is the patriotic that we are talking about. The point is that if the Bank of Ghana think that we should respect our own city, which I will be proud, you will be proud, of course, is, why can't the Bank of Ghana also stamp down their foot and say, look, we have international businessmen or we have Ghanaians who are also doing business. The dollar is now pegging at 2.50, am I right? Or is it 2.4 point something? Yeah, good. Now, 2.4 for the next 3 months. Let the Bank of Ghana come out to say that. Or 2.4 for the next 6 months before, every week the bank, or every day, Bank of Ghana keep on coming out with the rate, with the interbank rate. They should be able to control it. You see, it makes the importers or the the exporters' problems are minimal. It makes the importer, you cannot plan. You cannot plan in the sense that if I had planned, oh, the dollar is 2 cedis, I'm going to come back in a week's time. Don't mind you that you cannot ship goods and get here within 1 week. Some takes about more than 21 days, 22 days before your cargo gets to the country. So when the cargo gets to here, before you know, the dollar has rise to 3 cedis. So do I lose or I gain? So let the Bank of Ghana say, 2.4, it's enough. We cannot afford to increase any rate again.
Well, it's demand and supply. But I got Herbert Akwe on the line, who's president of Ghana Hotels Association, and I know they have a challenge in terms of how do we now price our rooms. Herbert, hello and welcome.
Thank you very much today.
Very good. Herbert, we're looking at stabilizing the CD and the measures that Bank of Ghana put in place. We just find out with various industries if it's working or if it's not working. And I know initially the hoteliers were worried, thinking, look, we price, in dollars so that we don't have to keep changing the rate. How has it affected the hotel industry?
Well, yes, it hasn't, affected us in terms of the volume of business that we do. We're managing to cope with the direction.
Very good. So if a room is, let's say, 1,000 cedis or 500 cedis, are you able to maintain it for the next 6 months, or do you have to keep changing the rate of the room because you're pricing it in cedis?
Well, since the directive came up, there hasn't been major shift in the currency conversion. So we're managing to deal with it.
So, Herbert, if I arrive at your hotel, I just come from Hong Kong, in the middle of the night, and all I have is my dollars, what then do you do? Send me to a forex to go and change, or would you take my dollars and as collateral? How then do you do that transaction? Because I don't have CDs on me.
Well, if you don't have CDs, we will take the first night's accommodation in the foreign currency that you have, acceptable convertible currency. And this will be paid first in the bank.
Okay. I think I still have Dr. Osei on the line. Doctor.
Yes, sir.
Well, we're listening to our businessmen. The hoteliers say they are fine. I mean, the rates haven't been jumping up and down, so they are, okay to, peg the rates in CD and maintain it.
No, so that is fine. So, of course, for the hoteliers, they are mainly not necessarily what we call economic or tradables.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and if the component of forex in their cost is low, then it's fine. But obviously, for those who have a high forex content in their costs, then they would have a challenge. And so what then they might end up doing is actually adjusting the prices, the CD prices up more frequently. And to be honest as well, I mean, first the policy came to be, at least for some of the hotels that I have been to, the CD rates have been higher every time I've been.
Okay.
Have been adjusted every time I have been. So, I mean, again, it's just a matter of whoever the entrepreneur is making adjustments to reflect their costs.
Actually, Doc, if you hold on, I'll bring Herbert in here now. Herbert, if you've priced in CD and it's been okay since then, and then one will ask, then why were you pricing in dollar, previously? Because you also contributed to the unnecessary pressure that was putting on the currency. So maybe you could have priced the CD long time ago, and this is Herbert.
Well, I mean, there have been several hotels priced in cities. So pricing in cities is not a new thing. I think there were just some few hotels who had, exemption to price in dollars and also to accept foreign currencies in settlement of the hotel.
Herbert, don't you still have members in your association who are still charging in dollars, the big ones?
No, all pricing is being done in cities.
Okay. So then I think the importers and exporters, you are the ones who are really complaining about this. Everybody's fine, apart from you.
But the guys just confirmed to you a few minutes ago that if the person arrived tonight in his hotel and the person has nothing done the forex, they will receive it at the prevailing rate. Let's ask yourself, if the prevailing rate is 2.4 and tomorrow morning the interbank rate will be 2.5, is he taking 2.5 or is he taking 2.4? Which one is he taking? And look, let me tell you, the hoteliers, they are mathematicians among them. They will make sure that they will calculate such a way that they will know that in the next 6 months or in the next 1 month, the dollar will rise to this, and they'll collect their money according to. So if the dollar get there, they still have their money. They've not made losses. The point is, the importer who goes out there, and that is forgotten, the whole, the almighty Ghana Revenue Authority, every week comes out with their rate. Custom comes out with their rate. Sometimes, at times, it's lower than the black market rate. The point is that why are they still taking monies, duties paid into this country, using the dollar to determine the duty you're supposed to pay? So that is the contradiction.
So duties are still quoted in dollars?
Oh, I don't have the declaration here. I've shown you.
They are not quoted in dollars.
They are not quoted in dollars, but they are using the
dollars.
Okay.
Absolutely, they are using the rate to calculate for it to pay. So in the north, if I knew I was going to pay 2 Cs, but because dollar rate at that prevailing rate is 2.4, I have to go and borrow 40 pesos. That is what is happening to the importers in this country. I'm saying that the Bank of Ghana could have done more good job. Kudos to them if they have consulted the industry players, the Hoteliers Association, the Importers Association, the GUTA, the ship owners and agencies to ask them, okay, how are you transacting your business? Then the import will come, then they'll go back to their boardroom and also come out with it. They wouldn't have this backlash left and right for IMF to come and tell them, look, go back and revise. They have forgotten something.
You see, the other thing, especially with you importers, is you're going to China, but then you want dollar. You're going to Singapore, you want dollar. You're going to anywhere you're going, you seem to go for dollar first, go to the country, and then change the dollar into their currency. So, I mean, that was also putting undue pressure on that particular currency.
Even in the US, in UK, they import. And when they import, they also do what? If you come to Ghana here to buy goods, do you buy in Ghana cedis or you buy in dollar?
No, what I'm saying is...
I'm only asking you. If the person brings his dollar into the country to come and buy this non-traditional commodities, you buy in Ghana cedis. You have to change his money and buy. So if I'm also going there to do business, I need their currency that I go there and
but
make
you could
business,
have changed yuan or you could have changed pounds from Ghana. But you seem to... Doctor, I think you want to interject here.
Yes, I was just going to say that there are some currencies that are very convertible. And so for ease of transaction, you'd want to carry those currencies. So the dollar is probably the most convertible currency around the world. So if, for instance, a foreigner is also coming to Ghana to do business, the person brings dollars, the person doesn't bring cedis. Do you understand? Because if the person were to be coming to Ghana and have cedis, and for some reason they decided that their business, they needed to do something else in Nigeria, you probably cannot exchange the cedis in Nigeria. So in terms of the use of the dollar, it's essentially because of the convertibility of the dollar.
Okay. Now, Doc, again, this will be in your area. I don't know if you have the facts, but I just wanted to find out the school fees, the hotel bills, the unnecessary dollarization of the local economy. What percentage of it, did we put on the currency? Because I'm sure other factors come in, but this also. I mean, what percentage was it?
To be honest, I think that it did put some pressure, but I don't think it's in any way accounted for the depreciation of the cedi that we actually saw in the first quarter of the year, for which we reacted in the way that we did. Okay, so again, don't misunderstand me at all.
Okay.
I totally don't think that we should encourage the pricing of goods in cities. But sometimes as well, you've got to also take a step backwards and take a closer look at why people are charging dollars. Now, essentially, if you do believe and your expectations with respect to pricing are not necessarily consistent with what is a low rate of inflation, then you want to do something to guard against losses that could occur as a result of the pricing, because you don't want your prices to be dumped. So people could just use that as an index, if you like. And I think initially that is how it started. People started using the dollar as an index. And then eventually, they then said, okay, well...
I'm listening. Are you... Oh, I think we dropped the line, but I'm going to take a break here. When I come back, I want to find out. I'll bring you. I just want to bring and say, why don't we then encourage a cashless society? Because in that case, then it doesn't matter what currency you have. All you need to travel along with is your card. Stay tuned. Stabilizing the cedi against the dollar. And just before we went to the break, I was just looking. If we improve the cashless side of the economy, want to solve the problem. So I'll start with you. Why doesn't everybody just get a debit card? And once you have a debit card, you don't need your Swift business. You can call them, give them your debit card number, payment done. If you're traveling, take your debit card with you, And obviously there's no limit on how much you can pay on your debit card to solve the issue.
Yeah, Nana, what you've said is rightly very true. But let me ask this. You were asking the economists about this. Students pay school fees and the dollar, that causes the rise of the dollar against the cedi. The point is, up till now, from the directive that the Bank of Ghana gave, has the, the dollar issue stopped? Does Ghanaians no longer paying school fees to their wards, their children and relatives outside there? Even the government of the Ghana is also sponsoring students out there. Are they not paying money to that effect? They are paying. And what currency? Isn't it a foreign currency? How do they get the money to give to the people? Two, I told you earlier about the SWIFT transfer system. That if the SWIFT transfer system in Ghana is working, let's take it, for example, if you go to the bank, some of the banks, your own check, you sign, you are there in person, not that you send a third party. It takes you longer. They can't even identify this is the man and give your money to you to go. Left alone, I'm dealing with international business partner. They want it to be done according not the Ghanaian way. That is me and you. So it's something, Nana, we know ourselves for a very long time. No, business, we don't build with that. Business build with time, with relationship, with trustworthy. That is what we are talking about. We are saying that the people that we are dealing business with want to confirm that payment has been done, your cargo is coming. They don't take your money and run away. Some of the reputable companies want to keep their image. That's what we are talking about. I'm saying that if you're talking of cashless, the debit card and other things, it's good. But who's supposed to make that education? Even how many Ghanaians? I think I heard one economist talking about, or even one bank, I think Cal Bank or who bank, they did they launched one of their product these days, and he spoke about how Ghanaians are not prepared to come and open an account, and how Ghanaians are not even saving. So it's about education. Bank of Ghana is supposed to carry education. Civic education is supposed to carry education. The commercial bank themselves are supposed to carry education to let Ghanaian populace knows what type of product is available, is good for you at what time, and what are your needs that they can meet. This is about education we are talking about. So someone must be doing his work to convince the importers, look, even you don't, now the $10,000 withdrawal that they are talking about, it is when you are flying out, but you can still go out there with your debit card and do business. And that I cannot, our member will not load his money here into his card, get to US or UK or Holland or China or Korea to buy an auction card to remove our brothers and sisters at Obusuka to remove the spare parts and bring it back here. That when that is done, you say, oh, I have my debit card, slot it, and we slot it, and the money is not there. That is what we are talking. We are talking about efficiency and effectiveness.
Let me ask, Doc.
Yes, sir.
If we encourage the cashless society where we all had our debit cards, I don't know, maybe we'll start it from every JSS student should have a debit card so they can do the school feeding program, and then by the time they leave school, they've adopted or this habit, so that we I think we love cash too much, and that's also one of our problems. Oh, I don't know.
No, so that's the it will help us really look at why the city has been at the fundamentals, because if everybody goes in a cup, there has to be a base something to back the car. Okay. So you must have something to back the car. Now, if for instance everybody has a car, but yes, so we are not many, and we still are demanding dollars, i.e. we are demanding goods that are produced outside, then you still have the problem with the currency, irrespective of whether you have a cashless system. You get it? So the cards that we have are just alternative, and they make transactions more productive. But they can't play the basic part of their field. And so you need to produce services to the economy. And we need to sell some of the outside to make dollars. Okay, so that you can also then buy goods and other things. So that is the fundamental. So in terms of the cashless society, it helps generally in financial intermediation. It makes our financial intermediation more efficient, and that efficiency would eventually get passed on to the forex market as well. And it is not the solution to having a good parent.
I'll bring something here. I mean, the exporting side of your association, this is Christmas. This is Christmas for you.
Yes, this is Christmas for them, but the point is that, are you telling me that exporter doesn't need to be cushioned, exporter doesn't need to be financed, exporter doesn't need to be given a support from government sector? We think that government is talking of, our government is talking about, in this country, virtually we are importing everything. Ask me, let Minister of Finance or Minister of Trade and Industry come out together, we have empowered these people to do export. We have given them the grants. All what we always hear is that government will be looking for a grant, government will be looking for some money for them, government is trying to identify people. It's not a matter of identifying people. You have Ghanaian farmers all the way to the north, all the way to the Volta Avenue.
But you're an association, so why don't you team up in 20 or 50 together and say, look, we're coming together as maybe pepper exporters and capitalize on this, CD falling now, because whatever you get in is going to be double what you got in last year.
Look, let me tell you a practical thing. Every importer into this country, more especially the frozen food people, pays some certain amount of money. It goes to agriculture development something. That money was supposed to be used to help those who are pepper farmers, tomatoes farmers, rice producers, those who rear fish or fish farming in this country. Ask me, did they have access to that money? Let's take it today that, hold on. Let's take it today that if an importer says, okay, because every day if I sleep and I wake up, government is budgeting too much. So I've been paying so much money to agriculture development. I want to go to agriculture so that I will produce and export myself again. Will you have that fund? Where is the fund? Where is that money? When government wake up, say we want to ban A, we want to ban B. We must have solution before we ban. You can, you see, you identify the problem. After identifying the problem, what do? You get solution to it. If there's no problem, you cannot look for a solution. So if the problem is that we are importing so much, then we want to export so that we can bring forests to also inject into the system. It is important. That is what we want. The last time government said they are injecting $20 million into some of the sector to control the city. Which area did they come out to expel to Ghanaians for us to know that it is export? Export has been taking this, tomatoes farmer has been taking this amount, rice producer has taken this social amount, poultry farmers have taken so. All what we heard is that we want people, we have identified some people, that we want them to submit comprehensive proposals. How can you tell me that Dako farms, which when we used to be kids, we used to know that Dako farm produce fowls and we can get more eggs for school feeding production to children to eat and have protein a day, that we're now asking such a person to present a proposal. Government is completely doesn't know what they are doing, or they know but they are refusing. And we think that they should consult us, that we will also come out with our input, because we are Ghanaians. Every Ghanaian will be proud, and that is why I'm proud to wear a smoke and I'm standing here. I think every Ghanaian wants to make sure that we build our home first, and we continue to say that the Ghanaian importers build houses, build hotels, buy cars that we are plowing, that passengers are sitting every day. We also contribute to the economic growth of this country. Therefore, we need to be respected in terms of policy making, policy issues. They should invite us, let us sit, let us discuss. We should give them our side.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for having me. Time is run out of our side. Thank you, Nana. Thank you very much for having us. We are very grateful. Anytime your station calls us, we will not hesitate to be here.
I need to call you so we look at the export side of things to find out what it is that the exporters can do to take advantage of this, because this is exporting season.
To be here.
Thank you very much. And as always, I remind you that tomorrow, Thursday, if you watch the repeat Thursday at 2:05 p.m. on Joy FM, I come up with a program called That's My Opinion. And tomorrow, I'm saying that accept my condolences if you're poor. You don't want to miss that. Stay tuned. Thanks for watching.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.